Happy Sunday, everybody. It's your boy Sheik getting ready for a brand new week of trading. We had a huge bullish move this week off of some news. We had great PPI and CPI numbers come in, which boosted the market, a crazy amount. We're up on QQQ, we're up about 50 points since the bottom that we marked about a week and a half ago, or 2 weeks ago now. So this is a saddle run, and I'm not sure if it's over yet, but let's hop into some charts and check it out. One thing I did want to go over, I did see a tweet earlier today that could, affect the market. I heard that the job numbers are being revised, and it's worse than they're being reported. I think I read something about 1 million jobs are being revised. So those job numbers that keep saying the economy is booming, new jobs are being added, yeah, that's bullshit. So as usual, I've been saying that, all the numbers are cooked. I think CPI numbers are cooked. I don't think our economy is as great as the government is making it seem with their statistics. Especially since Dan has, told us about all the credit card debt that consumers have, which is probably the better indicator because it kind of tells you how middle class people are living day to day by racking up debt. But enough of that. Let's get right into the charts. First off, we got QQQ, and as you can see, I have my levels here and some zones. Yeah, so QQQ daily, we are coming up into this golden pocket area. I did say last week I was looking at this area for shorts. It's 470 to 473, 475-ish, but it's looking like we're pushing through that here. Although it's low volume, I'm still watching this area. If we can break above this 475.7, 4 points, basically Friday's high, 476. I like a move to this 480, which is another area to watch from 480 to 485. Is another supply area. So this is the Fibonacci retracement from all-time highs to the most recent lows, coming back up to test these levels. If we get some volume here and start breaking this, mainly this 486, like this last resort for bears, if the bears can't hold this, we're going back to all-time highs, and I believe we will break out and go to 600, honestly. But if the bears can hold here and start building some momentum back up, or maybe we get some more news coming in, we'll see a pushback down and hopefully break some lows so we can get some cheap stocks for the future. But as far as hourly or entries that I'm looking for, as you can see on this hourly, it's looking like a big cup and handles starting to form. What I would like is for us to come retest this, 472 area, or 473, 472. If we can hold this going into Monday morning, I like calls. If we break down below that, then we have room to fall to like 468. So that's what we'll be looking at tomorrow morning at open. But I do like this 472 area to hold. As you can see on the 4-hour, it is the 200 moving average right here at 472. On the daily, let's check it out real quick. I forgot to look at this, but on the daily, we broke the 50-day moving average, which is short-term bearish. Bullish. We want this 20 to come back up and cross over if we're going to be really bullish. But if we can't hold this, 472, 473, like I said, we have a ways to go back down to retest. We have a gap also here in play that we can potentially fill this week if we have some bearish momentum. But that's what I'll be looking at, the 472 area. If we break below that, 470 obviously psychological, then 468 below and 464. So keep an eye on that for now. Let's check out SPY. So SPY, again, where is my... Sorry guys, I don't know which... Oh, there it is. So, SPY daily, again, the Fibonacci levels from all-time highs down to the most recent low. If SPY can get above this 555 to 557 area, then we can make a move back to all-time highs. But as of right now, if we do reject this area tomorrow, this can bring everything back down. So This and QQQ I'm gonna be watching together. You guys know like really don't play Spile that much anymore. More of a QQQ guy. So obviously Dan has the levels on SPX, and you guys can pretty much take puts and calls whenever I take calls and puts on QQQ. But if I'm just looking at it off the top, I'd say a retest of 550 would be a really good entry for calls. But if we can break above this 555, then obviously more calls. So just keep an eye on it open. Again, the daily, we broke above the 50. Obviously, we gapped way above it. We do have a gap to fill. We could potentially get a retest right here and fill this gap, which would give time for the 20-day moving average to move back over. But the way the momentum's been going right now, I just don't know what's going to be pulling this back down. We've just had so much bullish momentum on low volume. All it's going to take is for some big volume to come in for a breakout and push it back to all-time high. So that's SPY. Let's see. One of you guys want Tesla. Let's get into this. That's ugly right there. Let's just clean this up so I can give you a clean look right here. So, this big move we had right here. Let's check out the fibs right here from the lows. So this 167 area up to the highs. We came back down, held the golden pocket, kind of consolidating it. We're moving back up now. So the levels to look at from top to bottom, this is what you would do, fibs. We're coming back to the 50% retracement, so 227 area is what I'll be watching. I believe above, what is this, 235, pretty big gap to fill up to the 246. So I'll be watching this. Let's check out the hourly so I can get a good look here. This 220 area, obviously, if we can break it, if we can hold 215, honestly, or 213, I like calls. I do think we might get a dip to this 213 and then move back up, but I'll be watching this 213 and 220 area. If we can hold this, we'll make a move past 220, maybe up to 227 right here, and then possibly push all the way up to 234. So those are the levels I'm watching, but I am pretty bullish on Tesla. Tesla, I've been bullish on it for a while after we broke out of this triangle. As we go to this, my other chart right here, not this one, sorry. Where is my, okay. So now, this is interesting to me. We broke out of this giant wedge and then came right back down. But this could be a fake breakdown just because the entire market broke down on this news. On the Japan carry trade, which is what they're calling now. We did hold this 182 area, which was basically previous breakout. If you look at it, if I pull this level right here, this was the major breakout right here that pushed us all the way up to here, and then we broke that big wedge and kept going. This was kind of an overshoot for me, but we came back down and tested this breakout at 182. Once we broke this again, we're heading back here, which is again the trend line. If we can break over this 220 area, we're back bullish. I really, really, really think we're still in this cup and handle. So if you guys remember, I showed this theory right here. 4-hour chart, big cup forming, then we build a handle. A handle is usually 50% of the move, 25 to 50%, or 30 to 50% of the move from the bottom to the top. So this is about halfway point. We're building this cup back up. This is the handle now. Once we break this 260, 270 area, I think we're pushing the 300, 320 area. So that's my thoughts on Tesla. I would love to swing some longer dated calls, but I want to see some levels clear, more specifically this 235 area to go fill this gap that we had from earnings. Once we get above that, then we can look for calls to break this 270 area. Over here, we're kind of just playing levels. Obviously, this is an area to watch. Once we break over this, we're going to be watching this area. So keep an eye on this. But like I said, I want a hold of 213 to 210 tomorrow, and for calls, or if we just go balls to the ball at open and just break 220, I'll take calls. So that's my plan for Tesla. I believe someone asked for NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, man, this thing literally came back down and retested this huge breakout. So the 95 area, we obviously, every stock overshot. So that's one thing I want to clear with you guys. Some of these things where it looks like it broke down, these are false breakdowns. So when it breaks down below an area that we've been watching and then it comes right back up, which it did in the same day, that's a false breakdown. So we filled the gap, which was important because there was a huge gap here to fill. We filled it, and as you can see, this was that 1,000 area. If you go pre-split levels, this 95 is basically 950 to 1,000 area. So once we retested that and held, we've moved back up. We moved back up 25% to 30% since this bottom. That's huge. Now, what you want to look for is a break of this 128 to push to 136 and again all-time highs. So NVIDIA looks really strong. Obviously, I wouldn't bet against it. It's above its 50 EMA or 50-day moving average now. Looks like this might be curling back up. As you can see, the MACD, the momentum indicator, is coming back up. The RSI still has room before it's oversold. We can pretty much push to an 80 right here, and an 80 RSI, maybe even 90, and we'll be fine. That should bring us back up to all-time highs. So I am pretty bullish on it. As far as entries, I'd like a retest back down to this 122, 121, maybe even 120. If we can hold this area, then we can push up. But ultimately, you want to look at Friday's high, which was 125-ish. This is an area, as you can see, 125 is a pretty big level. It was a previous retest right here, as you can see. Let's mark it out so you guys can see it. If you look at this level right here, it rejected right there, but if you could tell, we rejected right here. We use it as support, some choppiness here. Use it as support again. Support, broke down, resistance, and then we're using it as resistance again. So if we could break up and use it as support, we could push back up to here. But I would like this 128 area to break, 129, maybe 130 let's just do 130 as a psychological level. But we can push up here, maybe to all-time highs pretty soon if market conditions are right. So if everything's bullish, which I think, let's see, NQ right now is green. It's up $58, nothing crazy. ES is up $10, 10 points. So we're looking good on that. But yeah, we want some more bullish momentum for us to push to all-time highs. So look at Apple. Not really big on Apple. I don't really trade it. But it looks like it broke back above this 225 level. Now, if we can hold this as support now and create support here, we can push back up to this 231 area, possibly 234, and all-time high. So, but I would look for a retest 224.75, 225 area, basically. If we can hold this, if we can't, we can see a pullback down to like 221, 222, maybe even 216. So 216 is another good area to enter. But I would look for a hold if the market's bullish tomorrow. What I always do, I've told you guys this, look at higher time frame. 4 hour, 1 hour, daily. We're on an uptrend, right? So you don't really want to take puts unless there's a massive rejection. You want to catch the dips. So basically, you want to catch pullbacks to previous support areas to get some cheap calls for the pushback up. So I do like calls on it if we can hold this 225. What else? Google. I've never really traded Google, but 4 hour looks like it made a little bull flag. Sorry, 1 hour made a little bull flag. Rejected this 164, 165 area, which looks like it's going to be a pretty big area. As you can see, it's a gap fill area right here. It used to be previous support, broke down, gap down right here on that day we bottomed, and now struggling to get back up to fill this gap. Once we're back over this 165, I like calls. If it gets down to 160, 158 area, you can see some support down here. You could probably grab some swing calls. But as of right now, I would wait for a clear 165 to get into any calls. for a push maybe all the way up to this previous area of 170, maybe 172. So other than that, I don't really trade Google, so I don't really care. But just giving you guys levels. I know Jay wanted it. Those are what you want to look for. Meta's been insane. It's been moving up and down. It's crazy. I mean, look at this. 27 to basically almost 100-point drop, and then a recovery of 80 points, and now it's back up to all-time high. So Meta, this is the all-time high level right here, 526. Or sorry, 544 is all-time high. But this area right here, as you can see, from 523 to 526, is an area of previous resistance that turned support. And then turn into resistance again. So if we can hold this 526 to 523 area, you can take some calls back up to maybe this 539, 540 area, and then back to all-time highs of 544. I really don't want to go over this one because it's a pain in my ass. But Amazon, you know what? Fuck this. We're not trading Amazon. Until it clears 200, we're not touching this because Jeff Bezos is an asshole. Netflix, check out Netflix. Netflix is going gangbusters. Again, Netflix, this one I've been telling you guys, huge cup and handle was forming on the daily. Big cup, little handle forming. With this one, I would look for a break of 700, honestly, to get calls. So you can see we're kind of rejecting here. If we can get over this 692 actually, 700 can come, and then if we break 700, I think this thing goes to 750 really quick. That's previous all-time high. Making a cup and handle formation, which was just huge. This thing can be Nvidia basically. Yeah, let's watch the 700 level as it comes up. I'm gonna put an alert on this because I want to know when this thing goes gangbusters because I don't want to miss it. I'm gonna set an alert right here. I'm gonna put this at 700. At or above, create. Also want another alert if we cross this 692 area. That way I know when it's starting to get into this thick of things right here. I want to see how it reacts to this area. If it starts rejecting here, then we're probably going to come back down and test some of these levels. But if we start consolidating here, I'm going to take some calls. So we'll keep an eye on Netflix. What else do we have? AMD. This thing, I'm not touching this thing for a while. This thing is the most bipolar stock ever. It had great earnings. It gapped up only to lose everything within 2 days and back to lows. So F this stock. I'm not trading it until we get above this 185 area. If we break this 185, then we'll play it to all-time highs. But this chart is fucking ugly. This rejection here, and basically creating a head and shoulder, one shoulder, two shoulder, head. Came back down. It's pretty much done with its head and shoulder move, I think. Came back down and held. It's moving back up. I don't like it unless we get over this 50 moving average and the 200. As you can see, the 50 is crossing under 200, and that's very bad. That's long-term bearish. So if the 50 can't get back over 200, if we can't get back over these two lines, yeah, I'd be worried to trade. So not touching this coin. This has a lot to do with Bitcoin, obviously, but if we can use this 214, 215 as resistance. If it breaks above and gets back over 227 as well, we can get into this supply area for puts, or if we break above this, we push it all the way to 270. But I'm not sure what Bitcoin is at right now. You guys don't really trade this, but this to me looks like a bear flag. But then again, a lot of things look like bear flags right now because we came down a lot. So it's all going to depend on the broader market and what we do. We didn't have any warnings this weekend, so we can have another bullish week. I do believe J Powell is going to be speaking at Jackson Hole, so let me look that up. J Powell, Jerome Powell, Jackson Hole 2024. The eyes of the world's financial will be trained on the Rocky Mountain Resort. Jackson's is what probably. Okay, but when is it? Okay, where is the actual date of this thing? It's looking like this week, but what freaking day is he talking? Okay, Friday. So Friday, Jerome Powell will be talking in Jackson Hole at 10 a.m. Eastern, so 7 a.m. All eyes will turn to the mountains here. All eyes will turn to the mountains, allowing this week for the Federal Reserve's J Powell talking at the Jackson Hole Symposium every year to see a Nobel Prize. Highlight will come Friday when the Federal speaks about the economic outlook at 10 a.m. New York time. So Friday is the day. He will. So there will be Fed minutes this week as well, which I believe I saw on the schedule. Let me just double check real quick. So tomorrow, Fed Waller speaks. Bunch of U.S. 6-month high yield bills. This is 30-month bill. Germany PPI, Tuesday, Canadian PPI, Bank of Canada, some more, Fed speakers. Wednesday, I don't see anything. Wednesday is the FOMC minutes. And then Thursday, nothing really. U.S. S&P manufacturing PMI, U.S. 16 home sales. And Friday, Jackson Hole. So yeah, we don't have a crazy amount of data like we did last week, but we do have Jerome Powell speaking at Jackson Hole. Last time he spoke at Jackson Hole, I believe we dumped. So all eyes on that. Throughout the week, we could get some more bullish momentum and then end up dumping when he speaks. So that's all I have for today. So I will catch you guys all right here tomorrow on voice chat. Let's make some fucking money. Peace out.